So what we got for WNBA?
So off to the WNBA. Got some new head coach hiring. Last week we spoke about all the head coaches that were fired or left, as in the case of Stephanie White with the Connecticut Sun. And we already have some hirings to replace those coaches. So speaking of Stephanie White, she is named head coach of the Indiana Fever. Stephanie White, an Indiana native, uh, is no stranger to the Indiana Fever as she played for them from 2000 to 2004, wearing number 22. So a little connection there. Was an assistant coach with them from 2011 to 2014, winning a championship in 2012, and was their head coach from 2015 to 2016. Indiana Fever president of basketball operations, Kelly Krauskopf. Did I say that name correctly? I
Sounds
don't
good to
know.
me.
I like it.
As we enter this new era of Fever basketball, I am thrilled to welcome Stephanie back to the franchise. Stephanie is a part of the fabric of this franchise, both as a former player and as a member of our championship coaching staff, so I'm quite familiar with her elite basketball IQ and leadership style. I am confident there is no one who better understands our culture or is more equipped to lead our group of players to the next level. And then she herself, she goes on to say, I am incredibly proud and honored to return home to Indiana and lead the Fever during such a pivotal moment in the franchise history, as well as during such an important time throughout women's athletics. This franchise has and always will be committed to winning, and I look forward to working every day to help deliver another WNBA title to the greatest basketball fans in the world. So, thoughts on this hiring for the Indiana Fever, Tushka?
Krauskopf. That's what I'm going to go with. That's
I like it. I like
that's
it.
my try at it. Yeah, it's girls. I don't want to talk about girls stuff. I got things to do. No, actually, I do need to jump. I talk about load management. I do need to manage a project that I need to finish tonight. Yeah, I'm excited to hear more about some of the filterings of the coach hirings and firings because what was like 7 or 8 that
It was
got let
7,
go
yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun.
Yep.
But I'll be tuning in. But love you guys.
Josh.
This is what we expected last
Yeah.
week. If it didn't
Yeah.
happen, then we would really be pissed at the Indiana Fever.
Yeah.
It happened, so we're not as pissed as we once were.
It wouldn't even be like pissed. It'd be like, huh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm sure Indiana Fever fans would have been pissed.
Oh yeah, I was like, it's one thing. It's like you saw, like, all right, so you make the connections. It's like,
Yeah.
kind of the same thing was like during the off season. We're thinking, at least for NFL purpose, I'll just do an NFL as an example. So the Tennessee Titans fire Mike Vrabel. Vrabel played for Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick gets quote unquote fired by the Patriots. We're like, oh, it's all going to line up for Vrabel to go to the Patriots. They didn't hire Mike Vrabel. This was kind of the same thing of like, oh, why did she leave the Connecticut Sun? Like, she didn't get fired. She just left.
Yeah.
And then like in 24 hours or 48 hours, I forget the actual timeline, but it was pretty freaking similar. Those are very close, where she left and then the Indiana Fever fired their coach. We're like, okay.
Yeah. Indiana Fever fired their coach and then she left the following day. So, yeah, they were one day right after the other.
Yeah, so you don't do that without that connection, because it wasn't like we talked about it. The Indiana Fever coach earned her job. She should not have been fired. But if you can get a better one, like sitting there, like you've got a Greg Popovich or something like that waiting in the wings and wants to coach your team, and you've got
knows your team well too.
Yeah,
as like both a former player and former coach.
Like I can't hate the game at this point. Like
yeah.
Just I would have if I was a GM, especially for what the WNBA is about to partake in. You need the best you possibly can.
Yeah,
because there's no training wheels anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that bargaining agreement. And I think that's a good move, but it's bold.
I mean, they're still going to be playing under the bargaining agreement that they agreed to in 2020. It's just that at the end of 2025, they need to come to a new bargaining agreement. Otherwise, there's going to be a stoppage in play for 2026. So they're still under the rules of the 2020 CBA.
Okay. I want to see the financials. Is basically the long story short. I want to see the financials of that bargaining agreement because if they quote unquote they lost $40 million. We talked about that. I don't see how they're going to lose that much in this next season when you have another two superstars entering your league. I don't see how you make a loss. If they make a loss next year with the momentum,
they're going to make a loss. It just needs to be less.
right? I just
But
don't know.
they've made a loss every year, and it's been
Right.
typically around 10 million. So if they get back to what they normally lose, then that's a win, which is weird to say, but
Yeah. In business, this is not a win, but in this situation,
in some businesses work at a loss and they continue to stay alive. If you look at Costco, the $1.50 hot dog and soda, which the co-owner of Costco said, if you raise the price of that, I will fucking kill you. So like true legend there. But that used to be, they used to have a gain. And now that is a loss for them. They lose millions of dollars from the Costco hot dog and soda combo. They obviously make a lot more in other places, but that's a loss for them. And they eat that because that's something the co-owner is like, that's going to stay.
The fact that Arizona sweet tea can still sell for 99 cents and still make a profit.
Yeah.
What's everyone else's business model?
Also, speaking of that too, if you ever go and they're trying to sell the Arizona tea for more than 99 cents, you can contact Arizona Tea and they will crack down because they want it to be 99 cents, not a penny more.
Yeah. So shout out to those random companies on the sports show.
Right.
But that's the thing is like, I'm just me as a person who, we're a big pro WNBA show. And we want them to succeed. So I just want them to be in the positive. Because I don't know if NBA takes losses. No one's ever reported that they did. We just know the history of the WNBA did.
A lot of sports organizations, sports leagues take losses. For example, almost every single EPL team works at a loss. And that is the best soccer league in the world. Mm-hmm. It's just, so a lot of it's just that you're trying to mitigate those losses.
Yeah.
So that's just sports, really.
Unless you're an NFL team who just makes money hand over fist just because you exist at this point, just because of where the league is. I think even MLB, like obviously the Oakland A's, like they're moving for a reason. Obviously that owner sucks ass. Fuck you. But I'm kind of with you. It's just it's the league in general is what I'm saying. Like organizations, yes, they compete on a loss, but organizationally,
yeah,
that's my fear.
Well, I don't really have a fear for it. I think they'll figure it out. They have to. So
this is the best the WNBA has ever been right now, and you're getting ready to add 2 more star players in Juju and Paige.
But even if you don't add Juju and Paige, which both anyone who's watched the show know that we both love Juju and Paige. But
they have bingo cards by the time we bring it up.
But every time you bring it up, pretty much. But literally, there's so many stars in the WNBA already that would deserve it just on that alone.
Yeah.
Breanna Stewart is a star. Sabrina Ionescu's a star. BG is a star. So
Aaliyah Boston. Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson is a Kelsey Plum.
I'm kind of disappointed.
The entire Aces team.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up Asia Wilson first because
I was letting you.
Okay, all right, but obviously Kelsey Plum.
But speaking of another coach hiring, and speaking of the Las Vegas Aces, Tyler Marsh is named head coach for the Chicago Sky. He was an assistant and head of player development with the Las Vegas Aces. He joined the Aces staff upon Becky Hammond's arrival in 2022. helping guide Las Vegas to back-to-back WNBA championships in 22 and 23. Prior to that, he worked in the NBA, spending 2 years as an assistant coach, player development coach with the Indiana Pacers, after serving as assistant video coordinator and player development coach for the Toronto Raptors. Marsh's departure marks the second assistant coaching vacancy on Hammond's staff. Natalie Nakase, Hammond's first assistant coach, took the head coaching job for the expansion Golden State Valkyries last month. Twitter was absolutely hilarious the day this was announced, and it's mostly because of one Aces player, Sydney Colson. She went on a tear. She was spiraling, but she's known for doing funny stuff. So it was just Sid being Sid, but she was having her day on Twitter, and it was a fun moment. So we're going to show some of these here. So Angel Reese just tweets out W period, because she likes this new head coach, calls it a win. Sydney Colson, excuse me, we're grieving. Have some respect. And Angel, sorry, but your time is up. It's our turn. I'll send you some tissues, though, sister girl, unless you want to come join the side too. Alicia Clark is also like, give us a day, dang, but she also was praising him, saying they have an amazing one. Gonna miss you. Go be great. Still hope y'all don't have hot water for the season. So just a little playful banter there. But then we get next thing. We have three different Aces player wishing him luck, giving him all this. But Sydney Colson, she's not having the good luck being sent over. Tiffany Hayes, thanks for rocking with this Florida Hooper for a little bit. LOL, congrats, coach. Go be great. Sydney, emphasis on a little bit. Megan Gustafson, congrats. Super well deserved. And she's like, no, Meg. Multiple times, as you see. And then we have KB, so happy for Ty. Chicago got a great one. Go be who we know you to be. And she goes, not right now, sis. We're going off on him and Nat. So right. She's already got her sights set. And then Tyler Myers, she's like, okay, I need to show my girl some love, saying, love you too. But Alicia Clark clocks, I just saw he changed his bio already. Like, can we get until tomorrow, Ty? Damn. So you can tell how much he's loved in the Aces. So this is a really good get for Chicago. And then Asia Wilson even had to tell Sid, relax. And this was my favorite one. What I look like relaxing? I don't even get relaxers no more. I've been natural about 15 years. And the most natural thing I can do is let the people know that we were betrayed. I won't rest until everybody I come into contact with knows the truth. There are so many more of these online. We don't have enough time to go through all of them. But the last one, she goes, I love how I'm spazzing like I don't be on yearly contracts. LMAO, talking like I know my future. So I think she took Asia's little relax there. But
Sydney Colson has definitely just earned her spot as being a pundit, like after her career is over. Like it just she was so good there. But when it comes to coaches getting hired as an assistant coach, like this is they're giving if they didn't give him crap, it means it wasn't the right hire. I will say that because coaches, like head coaches, you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with, and you see people, the coaching trees and stuff. The Aces have been good ever since they hired Becky Hammond. It wasn't just because they just had Asia Wilson and Kelsey Plum. Like they were still a legit team ever since they hired
Chelsea Gray.
Chelsea Gray. Yes. Thank you. And other players you want to throw out there, those are the teams, the players that come to mind. So, and the fact that all of these players basically came out and gave him crap by also basically giving him love because they don't want you to stay an assistant coach unless you just don't want to have the head coaching job. He deserves the chair, as they would say. So I think this is, I'm interested to see how he meshes with the rest of like how he does it a head coach, because some people are just good assistant coaches
Mhm.
are just meant to be assistant coaches, and that's fine. You're going to make way more money than I'll ever think about. But being that head coach position, I think he's going to be. I think this is a great hire for Chicago's guy.
Part of me that thinks it's a great hire is that he's a player development coach too.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he started out, even though he was assistant video coordinator as well. But it shows like each from Raptors to Pacers to Aces that he's always been doing player development.
Right.
And that's so important for any team. And if you see how well the Aces are as a team, that means the player development is showing to be good.
The player development's good. So
yeah. But Becky's coaching tree, which is also Pop's coaching tree, is going on to do big things. But now that she's lost 2 of her assistants, fans are wanting Becky and the Aces to hire Teaspoon as an assistant. And I don't hate that. So there's no rumors out that Teaspoon's going to be the assistant, but Aces fans and WNBA fans are asking for it. They're former teammates. They love each other. They had a cute pre-game conference together when Aces in Chicago played for the first time, saying we want to do ours together instead of 2 separate ones. So I would like to see that.
That'd be cool. I mean, I've nothing against it. Just how it kind of works a lot of times when it's just like, oh, this name person's out there, let's go hire them. Typically doesn't happen, but I wanted to just for narrative reasons.
Yeah. But that's all I got on WNBA coaches. Since, as we said, there was 7 vacancies, now there's 5. So we'll probably hear some more stuff on the following weeks.
Yep. So stay tuned for us as we bring you all the coaching hires that happens in the WNBA and everything else.